Did you know that YouTube is a treasure trove of classic films that you probably do not know about, hiding some of the most beautiful and influential romantic stories ever told? While many people think of the platform only for short videos or modern clips, it actually serves as a massive digital vault for cinema history, housing complete masterpieces that have shaped the very foundation of how we portray love on screen. In this curated collection, we are going to explore 15 incredible classic romance films that are available to watch for free right now, spanning from the silent era to the early 80s. We will look beyond the surface to discover the historical significance of these films, from the birth of Technicolor to the grit of independent cinema, and the legendary stars who brought these timeless connections to life. Whether you are a fan of sweeping wartime dramas, sophisticated musical comedies, or intimate character studies, this journey through the evolution of cinematic romance offers a unique glimpse into the craftsmanship of old Hollywood and the enduring power of the heart. Number 1. This is the Army, 1943. This is the Army is an extraordinary piece of wartime cinema that functions as both a high-energy musical extravaganza and a touching romantic drama. Directed by the legendary Michael Curtiz, who was fresh off the success of Casablanca, the film was designed as a massive morale booster during the height of World War II. It features a sprawling cast, including a young Ronald Reagan, George Murphy, and Joan Leslie, weaving a narrative that spans two generations of soldiers and their sweethearts. The story follows a veteran of the First World War who stages a morale-boosting show, only to see his son follow in his footsteps as the world enters another global conflict. The romantic core of the film focuses on the sacrifices made by young couples separated by duty, capturing the bittersweet reality that millions of Americans were facing in 1943. Historically, this production is significant because it was filmed in vibrant Technicolor and featured actual United States Army personnel in the musical numbers, lending it an air of authenticity that was rare for the era. All the proceeds from the film were donated to the Army Relief Fund, making it a true patriotic effort from the Hollywood studio system. The film is also notable for featuring the music of Irving Berlin, including several iconic songs that became anthems for the era. It represents a time when Hollywood and the military collaborated closely to provide both escapism and a sense of shared purpose through the medium of the romantic musical. For modern viewers, it offers a fascinating look at the idealized romance of the 1940s and the power of entertainment to provide hope during dark times. Number 2. The Fabulous Dorseys, 1947. The Fabulous Dorseys is a unique biographical romance that explores the turbulent but creatively brilliant relationship between the two most famous bandleaders of the swing era, Tommy and Jimmy Dorsey. In a rare move for the time, the Dorsey brothers actually played themselves in the film, providing a semi-autobiographical look at their rise to fame and their legendary sibling rivalry. The romantic heart of the movie is carried by the fictionalized subplots involving the members of their orchestra, particularly the relationship between a singer and a pianist, which serves as a counterpoint to the brothers' professional friction. Directed by Alfred E. Green, the film captures the glamour of the big band era with an authenticity that only the real participants could provide. The film is historically significant for its incredible musical pedigree, featuring appearances by jazz legends like Charlie Barnett and a young Janet Blair. It serves as a beautiful time capsule of the late 1940s music scene, showcasing the transition from big band swing to the more intimate vocal styles that would soon dominate the airwaves. The chemistry between the real brothers adds a layer of genuine emotion to the story, especially during the climactic scenes of reconciliation. For fans of music history and vintage romance, the film offers a rare chance to see legendary musicians performing at the peak of their powers while navigating the emotional complexities of family and love. It remains an essential watch for anyone interested in the cultural history of the post-war years. Number 3. The Promise of Love, 1980. The Promise of Love is a poignant and emotionally charged romantic drama that represents the high standard of television movies produced in the early 1980s. Starring Valerie Bertinelli during the height of her popularity, the story follows a young woman who must navigate the devastating loss of her husband shortly after their wedding. The narrative explores her journey through grief and her eventual tentative steps toward finding love again, highlighting the resilience of the human spirit. Directed by Don Taylor, the film focuses on the internal psychological landscape of its protagonist, moving away from the more melodramatic tropes of the previous decade to provide a grounded and realistic portrayal of young love and loss. The film is historically significant as a showcase for Valerie Bertinelli's dramatic range, proving she was more than just a sitcom star. It also features a strong supporting performance from Shelley Long just before she achieved massive fame on Cheers. The production reflects the early 80s trend of tackling serious emotional issues with a level of sincerity and intimacy that resonated with audiences. It captures the specific aesthetic of the era, from the fashion to the earnest storytelling style that defined the television landscape of the time. For viewers who enjoy character-driven romances that focus on emotional growth and the healing power of new connections, this film remains a moving and relatable experience. Number 4. Stage Door Canteen, 1943. Stage Door Canteen is a sprawling, star-studded tribute to the real-life social clubs that provided entertainment and a sense of home to soldiers during World War II. Directed by Frank Borzage, a filmmaker known for his incredible romantic sensibility, the film follows several soldiers on leave in New York City who visit the famous canteen. The plot focuses on the budding romances between the soldiers and the volunteer hostesses, highlighting the intense, accelerated nature of wartime love. However, the true draw of the film is the incredible list of cameos, featuring appearances by legends like Katharine Hepburn, Tallulah Bankhead, and Gypsy Rose Lee, all of whom donated their time to the project. Historically, this film is a fascinating cultural artifact because it captures the genuine spirit of the home front during the 1940s. The canteens were a vital part of the war effort, and the film served as a way to thank the volunteers and provide a sense of connection for those serving overseas. The movie features a variety of musical performances from the era's biggest bands, including Count Basie and Benny Goodman. It is a unique hybrid of a variety show and a narrative romance, emphasizing the idea that love and community were the ultimate weapons against the isolation of war. For modern audiences, it offers an unparalleled look at the sheer density of talent in 1940s Hollywood and the way the industry mobilized to support the troops through the power of romantic escapism. Number 5. Happy Go Lovely, 1951. Happy Go Lovely is a delightful and sophisticated musical romance that perfectly captures the charm of early 1950s cinema. Set in Edinburgh during the famous festival, the story follows a struggling dancer, played by the talented Vera Ellen, who is mistakenly believed to be the girlfriend of a wealthy greeting card tycoon, played by David Niven. As she is courted by the producer of a new show who hopes to secure financial backing, she eventually finds herself falling for the real tycoon, who is hiding his true identity. Directed by H. Bruce Humberstone, the film is a masterclass in the mistaken identity trope, fueled by David Niven's trademark wit and Vera Ellen's incredible dancing ability. The film is historically significant for its high production values and its use of vibrant Technicolor, which beautifully showcases the Scottish locations. Vera Ellen was at the peak of her career here, and her musical numbers are choreographed with a precision and grace that made her one of the most sought-after dancers in Hollywood history. David Niven provides the perfect, sophisticated foil, and his performance highlights the lighthearted, escapist tone that audiences craved in the post-war years. The film also features a strong supporting turn by Cesar Romero, adding to the ensemble's comedic energy. It remains a quintessential example of the mid-century musical romance, offering a world of glamour, humor, and spectacular talent that is a joy to rediscover. Number 6. Ginger in the Morning, 1974. Ginger in the Morning is a quirky and atmospheric romantic comedy that perfectly embodies the independent, slightly rebellious spirit of 1970s cinema. The film stars a very young Sissy Spacek, several years before her breakout role in Carrie as a free-spirited hitchhiker named Ginger. She is picked up by a lonely, recently divorced man played by Monty Markham, and the two embark on an unconventional journey through the American Southwest. The narrative explores the unlikely connection between these two people from vastly different worlds, focusing on the way their brief encounter challenges their perspectives on love and freedom. Directed by Gordon Wiles, the film has a loose, naturalistic feel that was characteristic of the era's character-driven dramas. The film is historically significant as an early showcase for Sissy Spacek's unique and naturalistic acting style, which would soon make her one of the most acclaimed actresses of her generation. It also features a strong supporting cast including Slim Pickens and Fred Ward, adding a sense of grit and authenticity to the rural setting. The movie captures the specific visual aesthetic of the mid-70s, from the dusty landscapes to the introspective, folk-inspired tone of the storytelling. It avoids the polished clichés of the studio era in favor of a more honest, albeit whimsical look at human connection. For fans of 70s indie cinema or those curious about the early career of a Hollywood legend, this film is a charming and often overlooked romantic gem. Number 7. The Strange Woman, 1946. The Strange Woman is a dark and compelling romantic drama that features one of the most powerful performances of Hedy Lamarr's career. Set in 19th century Maine, Hedy Lamarr plays Jenny Hager, a beautiful and manipulative woman who uses her charms to rise in society, often at the expense of the men who fall in love with her. The narrative explores her complex relationships with a wealthy older man, his son, and a rugged woodsman, played by George Sanders. Directed by the master of moody atmosphere, Edgar G. Ulmer, with contributions from Douglas Sirk, the film is a fascinating blend of historical epic and psychological noir, exploring the darker side of passion and ambition. Historically, this film is significant because it was an independent production that allowed Hedy Lamarr to break away from the glamour girl roles she was often assigned at major studios. It gave her the opportunity to play a morally complex, even villainous, protagonist, showcasing her true dramatic range. The film's focus on the social hypocrisies of the era and the limited choices available to women makes it a surprisingly modern experience. The moody, shadow-filled cinematography creates a sense of gothic dread that heightens the romantic tension. It remains a standout example of mid-40s adult drama, proving that the romance genre was capable of exploring deep psychological flaws and the destructive power of unbridled desire. Number 8. A Stranger in Town, 1943. A Stranger in Town is a heartwarming and patriotic romantic drama that beautifully captures the small-town Americana of the 1940s. The film stars the beloved Frank Morgan, most famous for his role as the Wizard of Oz, as a Supreme Court justice who goes on a secret vacation to a small town. There, he becomes involved in local politics and helps a young lawyer, played by Richard Carlson, in his fight against a corrupt local government. The romantic subplot involves the lawyer's relationship with a local girl, providing an emotional anchor to the film's themes of justice and civic duty. Directed by Roy Rowland, the movie is a quintessential example of the feel-good cinema that was popular during the war years. The film is historically significant for its portrayal of the idealized American community and its emphasis on the importance of local integrity. Frank Morgan brings a gentle wisdom and comedic timing to his role, making the high-ranking justice a relatable and endearing character. The movie reflects the 1940s belief in the power of the individual to effect change within their community, a message that was particularly resonant during World War II. It features a strong supporting cast of character actors like Chill Wills, who adds a layer of rustic charm to the proceedings. For modern viewers, it offers a nostalgic and comforting look at a simpler era of romantic storytelling, where love and morality were inextricably linked. Number 9. Father's Little Dividend, 1950. 1. Father's Little Dividend is the delightful and heartwarming sequel to the massive hit Father of the Bride, reuniting the incredible cast that includes Spencer Tracy, Joan Bennett, and a young Elizabeth Taylor. Directed by the legendary Vincente Minnelli, the story picks up shortly after the first film, as Spencer Tracy's character, Stanley Banks, must adjust to the news that his daughter Kay is expecting her first child. The narrative explores Stanley's comedic struggle with the idea of becoming a grandfather and the domestic chaos that ensues as both families prepare for the new arrival. It is a sweet and perceptive look at family dynamics and the enduring love between parents and children. Historically, this film is significant for being one of the most successful sequels of the era, capitalizing on the immense popularity of the original while expanding on its themes. It features Elizabeth Taylor at a transitional point in her career, moving from child stardom into more mature, sophisticated roles. Vincente Minnelli brings his trademark visual flair and impeccable timing to the domestic setting, making even the smallest moments feel vibrant and significant. The chemistry between Spencer Tracy and Joan Bennett provides the perfect emotional foundation for the film's humor. It remains a definitive example of the mid-century family romance, offering a warm and relatable look at the milestones that define our lives and the love that sustains us through every new chapter. Number 10. Becky Sharp, 1935. Becky Sharp is a landmark film in cinematic history, famously known as the first full-length feature to utilize the three-strip Technicolor process. Based on William Makepeace Thackeray's novel Vanity Fair, the film stars Miriam Hopkins as the ambitious and social-climbing Becky Sharp, who attempts to navigate the rigid social structures of early 19th century England. The narrative is a sprawling romantic epic, following Becky's various marriages and liaisons as she rises and falls in society during the Napoleonic Wars. Directed by Ruben Mamoulian, the film uses its groundbreaking color palette to enhance the emotional tone of the story, particularly during the famous ballroom scene on the eve of the Battle of Waterloo. The significance of Becky Sharp cannot be overstated, as it proved that color could be used artistically to drive a narrative and influence the audience's mood. Miriam Hopkins received an Academy Award nomination for her portrayal of the complex and often unsympathetic protagonist, a performance that remains vibrant and modern. The film's lavish production design and historical costumes were specifically chosen to showcase the possibilities of the new Technicolor technology. It represents a pivotal moment when the film industry transitioned into a more visual and sensory-focused era of storytelling. For fans of historical romance and film history, this movie offers a rare chance to see a foundational piece of cinema that changed the way stories were told on the big screen forever. Number 11. Our Town, 1940. Our Town is a beautifully crafted and deeply moving adaptation of Thornton Wilder's Pulitzer Prize-winning play, a story that has become a cornerstone of American dramatic literature. The film stars a young William Holden and Martha Scott as George and Emily, two neighbors in the small town of Grover's Corners, whose childhood friendship eventually blossoms into a profound love. The narrative follows their journey through courtship, marriage, and eventually, the ultimate heartbreak of loss. Directed by Sam Wood, the film makes the unique decision to utilize a stage manager character to narrate the story and break the fourth wall, maintaining the innovative structure of the original play. Historically, this film is significant for being one of the first major cinematic adaptations of a modern theatrical masterpiece, successfully translating Wilder's minimalist style to the screen. It features an incredible score by Aaron Copland, which perfectly captures the bittersweet, nostalgic tone of the story. William Holden's performance here helped establish him as one of the most promising young leading men in Hollywood. The film's exploration of the ordinary beauty of life and the importance of cherishing every moment resonated deeply with audiences in 1940 as the world stood on the brink of war. It remains a powerful and poignant look at the universal milestones of human existence, proving that the most enduring romances are often found in the simple, everyday connections we share. Number 12. Love Takes Flight, 1937. Love Takes Flight is an exciting and atmospheric romantic adventure that reflects the 1930s cultural obsession with the dawn of the aviation age. The film stars Bruce Cabot as a pilot who finds himself caught in a complex love triangle with two women, one of whom is an aspiring aviator herself. The narrative follows their various romantic entanglements set against the backdrop of dangerous test flights and the high-stakes world of early commercial aviation. Directed by Conrad Nagel, who was also a successful actor, the film captures the sense of freedom and danger that defined the era's fascination with the sky. The film is historically significant for its use of genuine aviation footage and its portrayal of a female character who is ambitious and capable in a male-dominated field. Bruce Cabot brings a rugged, authoritative presence to the role of the pilot, while Beatrice Roberts provides a sophisticated romantic lead. The movie reflects the 1930s trend of combining high-concept action with intimate romantic drama, a formula that kept audiences entertained during the Great Depression. It captures a specific moment in time when pilots were the ultimate symbols of modern heroism and romance. For viewers who enjoy vintage adventure and the unique aesthetic of late 30s cinema, this film offers a thrilling and nostalgic journey through the clouds and the heart. Number 13. A Romance of Happy Valley, 1919. A Romance of Happy Valley is a significant and evocative silent masterpiece directed by the legendary D.W. Griffith. Starring the incomparable Lillian Gish, the story follows a young girl in a rural Kentucky community who waits patiently for her childhood sweetheart to return from the city and prove his success. The narrative is a gentle and nostalgic look at rural life and the enduring power of faith and love, standing in stark contrast to the rapidly modernizing world of the post-World War I era. As with many Griffith films, it focuses on the internal emotional lives of its characters, utilizing Lillian Gish's incredible ability to convey deep emotion through subtle gestures and facial expressions. Historically, this film is a vital document of early cinema, showcasing the technical innovations and storytelling techniques that Griffith pioneered. It reflects the 1910s fascination with pastoral ideals and the perceived purity of country life compared to the perceived corruption of the city. Lillian Gish's performance is a masterclass in silent acting, proving why she was considered the greatest actress of the era. The film's use of location shooting and its focus on the rhythms of rural existence lent it a sense of authenticity that was rare for its time. For modern viewers, it offers a rare and beautiful window into the foundational days of film romance, where the power of the image and the purity of the heart were the primary tools of the storyteller. Number 14. Love on the Dole, 1941. Love on the Dole is a powerful and starkly realistic romantic drama that serves as a landmark of British social cinema. Starring a young Deborah Kerr in one of her earliest and most impactful roles, the story is set in a struggling industrial town during the Great Depression. Deborah Kerr plays Sally Hardcastle, a young woman whose pursuit of love and happiness is constantly thwarted by the crushing weight of poverty and unemployment. The narrative explores her relationship with a charismatic activist and the desperate choices she is eventually forced to make to support her family. Directed by John Baxter, the film is a raw and honest look at the human cost of economic hardship. The significance of the film lies in its controversial history. The play it was based on was initially banned from being filmed by the British Board of Film Censors because of its realistic portrayal of social unrest. It was only after the start of World War II that the government realized the film could be used to highlight the injustices that were being fought against. Deborah Kerr delivers a performance of incredible depth and dignity, showcasing the talent that would soon make her an international star. The film is noted for its stark cinematography and its refusal to offer a simple, Hollywood-style happy ending. It remains a poignant and historically important look at the intersection of love and survival, proving that even in the most desperate circumstances, the search for connection remains a fundamental human need. Number 15. The Stork Club, 1945. The Stork Club is a glamorous and effervescent musical romance that serves as a sparkling tribute to the most famous nightclub in New York City during the 1940s. Starring the high-energy Betty Hutton, the story follows a hat-check girl who unknowingly saves the life of a wealthy but eccentric millionaire, who then decides to transform her life by providing her with a luxury apartment and a high-society wardrobe. The narrative explores the comedic and romantic complications that ensue as she tries to hide her new lifestyle from her returning soldier boyfriend. Directed by Hal Walker, the film is a celebration of post-war optimism and the sophisticated allure of the Manhattan nightlife. Historically, this film is significant for its incredible costumes designed by the legendary Edith Head, which perfectly capture the high-fashion aesthetic of the mid-40s. It features several high-energy musical numbers by Betty Hutton, whose unique and explosive performing style made her a massive star during the decade. The film also includes a standout supporting performance by Barry Fitzgerald, who brings a gentle humor to his role as the benefactor. The Stork Club was a real-life icon of the era, and the film provides a fascinating look at the celebrity culture of the time. It is a quintessential example of the wartime musical romance, offering a world of luxury, music, and heart that provided a much-needed escape for audiences in 1945. These 15 classic romance films demonstrate that YouTube is indeed a massive, often overlooked archive of cinema history, offering a direct portal to the legendary performances and groundbreaking storytelling techniques that have defined the genre for over a century. From the technical innovations of early Technicolor and the silent era's focus on pure emotional imagery to the gritty social realism of wartime Britain and the sophisticated charm of mid-century musical comedies, these films offer a rich and diverse perspective on the evolution of love on the silver screen. Each production is a unique historical document, capturing the specific romantic ideals and societal anxieties of its time while showcasing the timeless power of human connection. We strongly encourage you to explore these incredible free resources and dive into the deep, often hidden history of Hollywood romance before these treasures slip back into the shadows of the digital vaults. If you enjoyed this journey through the world of classic cinema, please subscribe to our channel for more curated lists and deep dive explorations into the incredible movies waiting for you for free, and let us know in the comments which of these stories left the biggest impression on you.